Oh, I gotta remember to keep the music channel up, because more often than not, this thing dies. I am so angry at this computer, and I maybe even more angry at myself for letting it happen. But also, my other computer's dead. So there's that.
Are we?
We should be live. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I see you. Matt's here.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. I'm hopefully going to get my main good computer fixed. I don't know what the deal is with this one. Keeps having these encoder issues 20 minutes in, and it drives me nuts.
The shoe fell off. The computer shoe fell off.
Doesn't even have a shoe. I think it's maybe because I leave this open sometimes, but so annoyed. I'm like, well, you guys don't even know about my personal annoyances, right? We're just here to watch commercials and shit. Well, maybe since I have you, we'll do some trivia. Why not, guys? Buckle up. The 20th anniversary edition of Trivial Pursuit, so it's right around the 90s-ish area, early 2000s. So, if you are here and you are willing to answer this question, I hope you do, because you might get your name up in lights back there, slightly out of focus. I'm going to actually scan these colors. Okay.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. That's why we came back. And that's the thing. It's because it'll say, oh, there was an encoder issue. And so the stream ends and dies. And OBS says, oh, just hit, start streaming again. It'll pick up the stream. And YouTube says, just start sending us the stuff again. I'm like, okay, done and done. OBS flips me the bird. YouTube says, all we get is the bird, so you don't get a stream anymore. Yeah. Block Ryan, please. At least time him out. All right, one answer per contestant, people. That's the thing. If you want to answer more than once, your second one will get you disqualified from, something. I'm not going to take points away, but it won't matter. I'll say no. That's what I'll say. Oh, God.
Sits in the corner.
All right, this is, I guess, I don't know if it's easy or not, but I'm not changing the card. What color do folks traditionally paint their front door for luck on the Chinese New Year? What color do folks traditionally paint their front door for luck on the Chinese New Year? It is not Stephanie Germanata. God damn it, Matt. Oselgen. It's like that's like a baby shit greenish brown color, right? When you pull out the 117 whatever box of Crayola. It is red. Bingo, Matt, you nailed it. It's red. Good luck in Chinese New Year. If you paint your...
What was...
Not good for the... We'll do 5 points.
Do I have to adjust for Australia?
Nah, not for this time. We'll count him as a true American. For this game only.
I can't do that.
I mean, honorary, not true. You're honorary. It's like if you get a doctorate from Dartmouth College, you're not a real doctor.
Is it red because communism?
I imagine, right? Like, because that's the thing. If you're looking for good luck on Chinese New Year, red in the door. If you're a Jew on Passover, not so much, right? Or do you want the lamb's blood? It's been so long since I watched those old cartoons. Maybe I'm wrong. You want the lamb's blood over your door so the spirit of death passes over you and leaves your firstborn untouched. I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar. Here we go.
Everything for New Year's red. Yeah. Chinese New Year.
Yeah. Well, everything is red basically everywhere that they want something to be noticed. So it's not a big thing. Who called writing 1990s in the arena the therapy to put Watergate behind me?
I didn't even follow that question.
I mean, there was a real big clue in there, but I'll read it again. Who called writing 1990s in the arena the quote, the therapy to put Watergate behind me? Not Bob Woodward, although pretty clever. Pretty clever. You wasted your one guess, so you better not guess again.
So, Matt?
So, Matt, it's up to you. And, you might be tempted to go Bernstein. I wouldn't. G. Gordon Kitty, and G. Gordon Liddy. No, it was Nixon. Richard Nixon. Watergate. Bob Woodward was a good guess because there's Woodward and Bernstein who broke the Watergate case, but it was Nixon who got the therapy from writing whatever the fuck that was. Anyway, that being said, Osselgin is correct. I'm going to go ahead and pull the commercials back up and we will get rolling once again with this nostalgia. Boop.
Minutes ago, we're able to show people real weather.
When severe
Oh,
weather
hell
threatens,
yeah. That's the
turn to
realest
Tim
weather I've ever
Deegan
seen.
And the 12 News Storm Team.
Oh, God. Here's another American Dad reference, but you think they have a Doppler that's solely sucking the soul out of that man?
Yes.
I win the quiz, says Matt. So far.
Yes.
When it doesn't rain or it rains all
I really loved when municipalities would put out PSAs like this that were animated, because typically they were very lighthearted with nice upbeat songs, horns, stuff like that. It wasn't like those anti-smoking commercials where people vomiting bugs into the screen.
out, we've got to manage for floods and
Louis the
drought. It's
lightning
important
bug.
for
Yeah,
the
Louis the lightning
environment,
bug.
for plants, wildlife, me and you. So
We
all
had,
this number for things
Here in Arizona, we had a SRP, the Salt River Project, one of the power companies out here, had a light bulb character. We had a bunch of back in, I don't know there was a push when electricity was brand new, apparently, back in the 1890s. It lasted until the 1980s, where people were like, look out, electricity's dangerous. It's don't let your kids lick the socket. I don't know what the state of that shit is today, because I don't watch terrestrial TV, and I don't know how many PSAs are out there telling you not to electrocute yourself or fly a kite in a storm. But I feel like it was inundated with that. We were at commercials. I had multiple times in school where someone from either APS or SRP, one of the two power companies, would come out and put a let me change this real quick. They'd put out a display that would talk about what to do or not to do in a storm, or what may or may not happen if you get electrocuted or whatever. And one time, this SRP dude brought a big diorama of sorts, and it was kind of like a big pop-up book where he would fiddle with these knobs, and when he would move certain things together, there'd be sparks and shit. It would show you how.
Oh, wow.
So there was a kid with a kite on a wire, and he would move it into the electrical pole, and it would light up a light bulb inside the kid. Because the wire is made of like chain, so everything on it was highly not dangerous, but it was highly hazardous, because everything on it was exposed metal that was constantly hot, that you just move these things around with
Jesus.
sticks. And so I'll never forget, the dude is okay, here's this thing, lightning strikes, the tree falls down, this, that, and the other. So he reaches his hand in under the, through the menagerie of shit, and an arc jumps from the facsimile electrical poles and zaps him in the arm, and he pulls his arm out, and it's whoa, and he's see, kids, he's it
Don't
can
do
happen
that.
at any time. He's it'll get you. And it worked, because I was whoa. It did get him. I saw the spark.
We had a foreign exchange student for a few months before we sent him back to Taiwan because he was a idiot and stuck a chopstick into our outlet in the bedroom.
This is wildly tangential.
Electrical stuff, bad. Electrocuting
No, he
himself.
wasn't electrocuted. He shoved him into a phone box.
No, it was a plug outlet.
What? Do you guys see the thread there?
I hope
Chopsticks in the
so,
box?
because you can
There isn't
electrocute
one. There
yourself
isn't one.
into
No, you can't. There was
an
a wooden
outlet.
chopstick. No,
we
just
can't
no.
manage without you.
The wooden chopstick. See, I was an electrician. Wood's an insulator. Before, in the old days, they would have just bare copper wire running on wood, and they would sometimes terminate the things. You see those glass bulbs or whatever in all the antique shops everywhere? Those are old wire nuts, essentially.
Join the army.
I never. They still, to this day, they push hard every day. Never could they make me feel like this was something I wanted. I knew I made the right decision when my friend who did join the Army spent 6 years in it and had nothing to show for it. Now, he didn't go to the Army. We went to different, whatever. But at the end of 6 years, I was like, so what now? No better off than he was when he went in.
No.
So I was like, so what now? Nothing.
Recently, Boomer Esiason tried to bet a few of his
Oh,
friends
God,
that
not
they
this
couldn't
again.
eat just one Lay's potato chip.
Bet you
Even
can't
in the
eat
eyes.
just one. And if I lose, I have to shave my head?
My balls.
Come on, man.
More and more people are discovering that Lay's are different.
Guys.
So crunchy and perfectly golden, you can't eat just one.
Hey, come on. Do I look stupid? Who's stupid enough to take?
Here's the thing. I feel like I don't want to say I'm lied to, because you have to be stupid to believe like that. Because when athletes or musical figures or whatever get on a commercial, they have to be portrayed as like these sort of wholesome yucksters. And like, you know, here these dudes like, oh God, potato chips. And it's all like wholesome fun and games. And it feels like, you know, it's just a bunch of dudes who play sports and have fun. But like, I mean, the reality of the situation, like behind the scenes, like there's probably tons of like prostitutes and blow, and these dudes are like plowing through armies of groupies or whatever the equivalent would be for a football player. I don't know, man. It's like the very lowest energy version of like a double life, because you don't really give a fuck. Like when you're on camera or you're like on the field or playing music or whatever, you're not necessarily doing all the weird shit you do behind the scenes, so you can keep those two things separate. But I was always like, I don't know, because I may be good like at acting when the situation arises, but I cannot prolong anything that is inauthentic.
Yeah.
And so when all these dudes like try to cultivate this, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
To take that bet.
Welcome to another day in the National Football League.
Like, we can't handle as adults. We have to be like, oh no, everybody's cool. There's no such thing as drugs or steroids. Like no one on my team is doing steroids. I swear, like, it's cool.
Value as a person, okay? Sure, Gold MasterCard has a credit line of at least $5,000, but that doesn't make you a better person.
It's 90's dollars.
I don't know. Maybe it does. I mean, if knowing that no gold card is more accepted on the planet lets you relax and just have fun, then yeah, I suppose it could have some effect. And you can use your Gold MasterCard at cash machines all over the world, so you can get money in drachmas or lire or seashells. So you can
Cash
give generously,
machines.
which any waiter will tell you is the true measure of how good a person you are. Gold MasterCard. It's more than a gold card. It's smart money.
Some people make journeys. Others make history. Friendship Force Vietnam exchanges.
Like, I guess I have a question, because like back in the day, it feels like you could, maybe there was like a real choice, like when you were applying for a credit card, but I feel like now most people, maybe there's probably a market out there where like, I want a different credit card, you get a MasterCard or whatever. Most people are just handed whatever that has the logo on it that goes through their bank. Like my bank, they gave us Visa. I wouldn't have been like, what? No, MasterCard. What? Like,
Oh yeah. Right.
obviously they're not going to hand out like Discover or American Express, but like when you know, these companies are like, get a Visa, get a whatever. It's like, it's accepted everywhere. Like, it's one of those things that now it's like, since it's handed out to everybody, it just feels like, why are you advertising it?
Yeah.
Like, we all know what Coke and Pepsi is. So every time you see a commercial for it, you go, yeah, I know. And if they stopped advertising them, would they experience a dip? Like if Coke were like, let's just not have a commercial play on, you know, next Thursday. Do you think everybody would be like, wait, what? Can I have a Coke or no? Is that
Just
No.
all
Can I
over
not have
the
a Coke
world,
at all?
reach out and sow the seeds of friendship.
on the one day I was going to buy the world a Coke?
12 and
What?
the
No
Friendship
way.
Force Vietnam invite you to be part of a historic
I didn't
event.
want this Coke. We're just trying to get to the beach.
The first people-to-people exchange to Vietnam. If you're interested in this once-in-a-lifetime experience,
God.
call 1-800
Friendship Force.
6777 and be part of
That's
history.
crazy.
Because 12 cares.
Not for nothing. I've had a ass load of exchange students, and one of my favorites was from Vietnam. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you know him.
This Hyundai Elantra is going on a trip. So is this one.
Oh
This one's going to Grandma's house. This one's winning a 4-day, 2,000-mile endurance race. Imagine a sensible family sedan, tough enough to be a 2-time World Rally champion. So,
I mean, realistically, the only thing they share is probably the frame.
Right.
So, I mean, really, it's like if you roll up in a tricycle and then you see like a dude roll up in the lane next to you with a tricycle that has like a big block V8, like a
Right,
fucking
engine.
yeah, like a 558 or whatever, 357 million cubic
Kissing
inches.
A car that'll
You go,
give
yeah,
you
we're
years
fucked.
of trouble-free trips to Grandma's house.
Totally different.
Drive one that's already been over the river and through the woods. The Elantra from Hyundai.
This one's
Cars
going to
that
Grandma's house. This one's running Grandma and her cat over.
This one's going to hell.
It's Henry. He's been doing things, terrible things.
He's home aloneing me.
He's really evil.
I think he's been wearing the One Ring, Grandpa.
Macaulay Culkin.
Home Alone versus The Hobbit.
I'll let you go. You think you could fly?
The not so good son is right.
Starts Friday, September 24th at theaters everywhere.
McLaughlin.
I was an assistant service manager at a car dealership. It's just a really stressful, thankless job. I hated it. I looked around and I said, I just don't want to live like this. I just quit. I think
Just bought 19 pairs of shorts and moved out to a wheat field that had a mountain in it. Loved it. Love it ever since.
something
Living
everybody
off the
should
grid.
do once in a while. My name is Fletcher and I work as little as possible.
God damn, would I love a 21 window bus though. Holy fuck. Did Volkswagen make some baller ass vehicles from like the late 50s to the early 70s? Holy shit.
I can't even find one of those for sale with the windows on the top.
Yeah, you never will. Unless you have like 15 grand to drop.
You've never seen a camcorder like the Sharp View Cam. The
Feel like
viewfinder's
it's like the
on.
van
Equipped with
life
LCD
episode of American Dad.
I feel it's a lot like that. I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It was as little as possible. All those green screens. We didn't have that kind of technology back then. They were living off the grid. You know, they were van lifing it, not for the. You know, there wasn't such a thing as social media.
view screen. You're right in the action.
Right in.
Gretzky scores? Let's go to the replay.
Let's go to the replay.
Play it back instantly with color and sound. Want to see
Color and sound? Wayne, are you a wizard?
that again?
The Sharp View Cam, an absolute original.
So your
Wizard
first goal,
cam.
Ty, and birthdays, graduations, your wedding, your kids, my grandchildren?
He's a
It's just like the
carefree
Mavica.
bachelor,
Welcome to the pleasure dome.
leading a bachelor's life,
You undress me with your eyes. I feel butt naked right now. Don't look at me.
until he met two orphans that needed a home.
You know, because we give so much credit to like the Cosby sweater phenomenon, but like there must have now that we're looking at Sinbad, I go, well, yeah, he probably wore a zany fucking shirt every episode and every scene, and so did Mr. Cooper probably. If they weren't zany, they were probably silk with big whatevers. But like that was just the thing.
Yeah, they were standoutish for sure.
Anybody I thought even
I
came
still wear
close
shit like
to
this.
being a credible human being.
How about me?
No.
Ew.
You don't break up a family. Look what happened to the Jacksons.
Sinbad's a dad.
Hey, speaking of American Dad and being a dad, remember when Sinbad traveled with Jeff through space after seeing the Majestic in that giant space station? Rather?
That's probably one of my favorite episodes. I like the song.
Yeah, anytime they have a song, I'm down.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to double down on this. Please, if anybody who has any power to do this, listen to me. The Simpsons released Simpsons Sing the Blues and 14 other albums since. Give me one collection of American Dad songs where it's Steve, like throw the fucking whatever theme song on there, whatever. But the boy band shit, give me all of it. Give me all
Boys
of it.
12.
1 or 2 discs. I don't give a shit. I bought the Simpsons ones on cassette and CD. Give me something, American Dad, you lazy fox. Fox has a record label, I bet.
I ain't got no money.
Catch the series premiere Thursday right after The Simpsons on Fox.
Right after The Simpsons. I wonder how they lasted. I know the Sinbad show is still
That's
going
how
strong.
I discovered Wax Fang.
Wax Fang.
Daddy's gone.
Billionaires wants a war.
Rip the shirts
A
open.
war.
I can't remember
If
that.
Capone
Is that
thinks
William
he's
Forsythe?
above the law, he's wrong. Dead wrong. I want that Fed turned into meat!
He's the guy from Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo with the thin dick. William Forsythe, like that's such a fucking crazy thing. Like he played so many badass cops for like to an entire generation. He's the thin dick guy.
Introducing a new television series about
The Unsmokables.
truth, justice, and the Chicago
The American way.
The Untouchables.
It's new, guys.
Meat.
How do you tell one suit from the next? Check the fabric. This one's pure wool.
I guarantee it.
At a department store, you might pay $400 for a fine wool.
You wear a fucking wool suit in Arizona, and they'll find you in a fucking coffin by the end of the workday.
But at S&K, our fine wool suit is under $200.
Under $200.
We call it Taylor's Row.
Oh my
Pure
God.
worsted wool, made in America.
Worsted.
If that's not enough, when
I wouldn't mind finding a seersucker suit one day.
you buy a Taylor's Row suit or blazer slack combination, you get a pure silk Taylor's Row tie, absolutely free.
Special offer ends September 30th at S&K.
The Florida Southern accent is so close to like the Louisiana, but it's like not quite there. It's something that I almost like, but I don't. Like it's my in a perfect world, I would have a pizza with pineapple and pepperoni. In a pinch, I would take pineapple and Canadian bacon, and that's what this is. Like the Southern accent that you get out of Florida is like the pineapple and Canadian bacon, whereas like the Louisiana or Savannah Southern accent, with it's just like dripping with
Southern Belle.
Yeah, like because it probably also too because one of my favorite book series, the Pendergast novels by Lincoln and Child. Pendergast is from Louisiana and so has the sort of Southern drawl that's. It's a little thicker, a little more syrupy than a Jacksonville or whatever, but I don't know. It's also weird because anybody can pull out a Southern accent if they want to, because someone living literally 2 hours from where I live now, she moved here. He goes, well, I was born in Tucson, y'all, so I got this accent. I go, I've been to Tucson.
I haven't heard anybody that has that.
Never. Like, this is Arizona. No one goes, hey, y'all, howdy. Nobody does that. It's not like Tennessee. Well, I go down to Georgia, up to North Carolina for the Pumpkin Festival. Like, it's Tucson, Arizona. You sound like me. Come on. $500 suit. Oh.
Underneath the skin you see.
Oh, you better believe I troll the fucking... They're called Goodwill here, but any thrift store you go to, I've got a closet full of sport coats.
You've seen him. He's worn.
You've seen him. I've worn them on the show.
Yeah.
You know, $200, $300, $500 people spend on these things, leave the tags on, and just drop them off at Goodwill. Like I bought a cashmere and silk like smoking jacket for like $12, and it was like $500.
Yeah. So Matt, do I have an accent to you? I am not an Arizonan. I'm from the East Coast.
Only with certain words.
Is the skin
Like
you
water.
want. Watch it emerge with
How do you, like, if your hands are cold, you don't want to wear a glove, you wear what? If there's that holes for your fingers, what were those?
Mittens.
Mittens. M-I-apostrophe-I-N-S. Mittens.
Estee Lauder's remarkable fruition, an exclusive triple fruit acid complex that can gently reactivate your
I try
skin with
really hard to pronounce my
extraordinary
T's for
results.
Elliot
Up to
for when he's
60%
learning words.
increase in clarity.
Mittens.
Up to 40% improvement in texture. Up to 37% in smoothness.
Ooh, that's a lot of smoothness.
Only from Estee Lauder.
I mean, proportional.
Available now at
Can you
Dillard's.
say, park the car in the car park?
Park the car at Harvard Yard.
Yeah, I don't say, I don't.
Park the car. No, yeah, I like the Boston accent. Don't get me wrong, I love.
I don't have that.
It doesn't sound very classy, but I love it. No, like most of the time what you get, or at least the people who move out here, I get accents that are transient. Like, you know, they're not from here, but it's just on certain words the emphasis is off, or like the consonants go missing or whatever. It's not like something you go, oh, that's definitely from XYZ, like a Boston, like lobster.
Boss.
You go,
Clam chowder.
chowder. Boston, on my porch. I'm going to call the cops, you know.
Kids, get your parents ready.
The Shrine Circus.
Kids, get your parents ready. What a bizarre things to say.
Jacksonville Coliseum. Dancing elephants,
The
man-eating
Shrine
tigers, human
Circus.
cannonballs, the world's greatest
Aussies
trapeze
remove
artists,
vowels
and much, much
out
more
of
fill
most
our
words.
3 rings of continuous entertainment. Jackson.
Down
Yeah,
under.
could you say good day? Stuff like that. I
Mate.
get it. Yeah. I get
Bill's
it.
oldest circus tradition will be at the Coliseum
Mate.
for 5 exciting
What if Al was
performances
removed
on
in
Saturday,
May?
September 26th.
Well, no, you
and
said
Sunday,
good day, and
September
that was
26th.
just like the first thing that comes out of my mouth.
Remove the O's, mate. Then you remove the E because it's silent. Vegetables? Vegetables?
Tickets are only $5 and $10.
Crazy
Get your
Aussies.
circus tickets today at the Coliseum or Auditorium box office or at all Ticketmaster
There's something
outlets.
that I say
I'm not only the
more
heck of a
now
president,
that we
I'm
make
also a
me. Oh,
client.
wildflower. Wow.
Yeah, you say wildflower and you drop the D.
What?
Like WILE flower. Wildflower. It's
Wildflower.
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 It's worth your wildflower.
The first thing my wife said when she saw it
That's
that I looked
not
10
a
years
knife.
younger.
That's a knife. My bot.
That was the first words out of her mouth. Not hello, not hi. I feel good about myself.
Not hello, not hi, not what's your name? Not, I love your hair. And I was like, oh, goddamn. It's plastic.
Who did we determine he looked like? Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser.
It's easy to maintain.
And in his before picture, he looks like Ira. Look at that. It's a Mad About You combo. They mentioned the Mad About You combo will give you 15% off your plugs.
Manage.
So call now for your free
Call
video.
now.
On Heck of Development.
Tell him Helen Hunt sent you.
We watched
dealing with
a video of somebody walking through Globe, Arizona. He was from New York for
Queens,
sure.
definitely.
Like, and it was just so funny listening to him talking about walking through
Let me give you everybody a real. Use these 2 things when if you come to the Southwest. It doesn't have to be Arizona. Just anywhere in the Southwest. GILA. 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 It's an Indian word, I believe. Maybe an
Probably.
Gila monster, like the Gila River. GILA. Don't say Gila. Don't say Gila. You dumb motherfuckers. Do a little research. It's Gila. GILA. Gila.
Even I knew that before moving here.
Gila monster.
There's
what was the
different-
other one?
Oh God.
Shit.
Beshbagoa. Was it Beshbagoa? He probably said Beshbagoa wrong.
There's a couple out that are the double L.
Oh yeah.
The double L.
Choyas.
It's a Spanish of Spanish origin. If you see a double L, it's pronounced like a Y.
Yeah.
Like ice in Spanish is LL whatever. I don't know how to spell it. I'm an idiot. But it's yellow. LL yellow.
Well, like choya, like a choya plant.
Amarillo.
Right.
Choya.
Yeah.
2 L's. Ya. G. Also. He. So ya to he. Just don't. It's like,
That's not L. That's not a double L sound.
Right. Don't come to a place and go like, well, that's weird. I'll just pronounce it as written. Don't do that. I never do that.
As a lifelong Chicago area resident, I hate hearing people pronounce the S in Illinois. I don't think I've ever said Illinois.
Yeah, some people do. Some people say Arkansas.
Oh.
Real quick, there's a Red Letter Media video out there where they're talking about videos and they say Sharkansas.
Sharkansas.
I'm 1000% sure that it's supposed to be Sharkansaw.
Yeah, and I'm sure they were genuinely saying Sharkansas.
Because Arkansas is spelled Arkansas. Yeah. And so if you go Sharkansaw.
Yeah, Shark and Saw made
Whatever.
much more sense. That's not a murdered hooker. This is a murdered hooker.
Yeah, am I right? Yeah, do yourself a favor. I don't think there's anything that you can find wrong. Like if you watch, what I'm getting at here is you watch Crocodile Dundee goes to LA, you won't be disappointed. You may not like it. You may not ever want to watch it again, but you go, I don't feel like I wasted my time on that. I feel like you'll feel.
Sitting here.
We have Cockburn here, but pronounced Coburn.
Or yeah,
Coburn.
Yeah, the English do this too. If it's Derby, D-E-R-B-Y, it's Darby. So like if you were to read it, it would say Derbyshire, but you say it as Derbyshire. Or Derbyshire. Whatever. The moral of the story is look it up before, especially like whatever, if you're going to put out a video or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Gila County, I was like, oh God.
humans are given to air, but if you're gonna like give a walking tour of something,
yeah,
whatever. Glass houses and throwing stones, etc. You guys gonna order that VHS, by the way?
When one of these volunteers
You guys want to see something really quick? I'll let the commercials keep
take a
playing.
medicine that can cause drowsiness.
Drowsiness
I found this copy of Harry and the Hendersons on VHS at a thrift store in Globe, Miami, Arizona for 50 cents.
Yep.
I gotta find a way to display it. Harry and the Hendersons.
We went into this tiny place and they had just a shelf of a bookshelf full of them, and David bought a couple, and
You can't see the other one because I was gonna put it back here, and I was like, yeah, no one's getting another reference.
She was like, oh my God, I think you're the first person that's ever purchased a VHS from us.
But I had to, because if you're around my age, about 40, you probably saw the Armand Assante Odyssey in your high school literature / history / whatever class. So I got a copy of that with Armand Assante and like Vivica A. Fox. Like it's like glory in like for like what Armand Assante's Odyssey did for Greek mythology, what Glory did for the Civil War with Matthew Broderick and Morgan Freeman. But there are some movies that just like hit the schools hard, and the Armand Assante was one that I relished. Like I saw it a couple of times. It was like something I saw probably 6 times across junior high and high school.
I don't think I've ever.
And one of the funniest things about Armand Assante is he went on to play like the brother of Sylvester Stallone. Like they were clones of the same batch, even though Armand Assante looked as he did and Sylvester Stallone looked as he did. They were genetically the same or some shit. Watch Judge Dredd. It's hilarious.
Oh, you mean the actor?
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently Paul Hogan, I'm assuming this is a reference to, did a very meta movie about 2 or 3 years ago called The Very Excellent Mr. Dundee, where he plays himself trying to stop them from rebooting Crocodile Dundee.
That's okay. That's funny and whatever, and he probably did it to get money because he like had I feel like a few years ago, I remember hearing a story about someone who worked for him embezzled like a fuck ton of money out of him. But JCVD already did this. Like he actually called it JCVD. Like he made a movie about himself, like trying to get back into whatever. So all these meta things are, very Rick and Morty-ish, but I mean, it's been done. Not to say anything about against Paul Hogan. I would love to see more of him. I would love to see another Crocodile Dundee movie. His manager, probably.
Just spell it out.
Because why would Paul Hogan be like, let's do something meta, right? Like, who does that?
Lower price for a collect call.
Is my mother gonna see this though?
Probably not.
No.
Friday, Briscoe goes south of the border.
Oh, the Briscoe Kid.
I'm sorry I tried to kill you. It just seemed like such a good idea at the time. Briscoe County Jr., an all-new episode.
That's right. I was confused. The Frisco Kid with Briscoe County Jr. Because the Frisco Kid, if I'm not screwing up that name, was a movie where Gene Wilder plays a Jewish man who goes out west and is like adopted by these German-speaking Amish people.
Oh my God.
Please tell me. Look, somebody look this up or confirm that it's called The Frisco Kid. But it's one of the movies you had on VHS, so I watched it a fuck ton. But Gene Wilder as a Hasidic Jew who comes to this old west town and like... I just remember like these old Amish people finding him. He's like wandering, like
you're right.
Yeah, Harrison Ford is in it.
1979, The Frisco Kid.
The Amish people find him and he's like speaking Yiddish. He thinks they're Jewish, so he runs up and he's speaking Yiddish at them and they're like 90's Deutsch, and he's like, oh, gewalt, and he falls down.
Yep.
Fucking awesome movie.
They were warned not to open the FBI's most secret files.
But they did.
They've got a UFO here, and they'll do anything to keep it a secret.
They should have listened.
Their lives may be in
Skinner said it was okay.
to be seen.
The X-Files. An all-new episode after Briscoe County Jr., Friday.
Mulder was always waking up after being drugged.
It's true.
Bubba. I know you're in there. You're not Bubba.
Get back to work.
Back to work.
All right, one more cast and I'm out of here.
It's like no fish in there. Whoa!
than others.
That's their slogan?
Kings Crown Ford is overstocked. Forced to rent extra storage. More new cars and trucks arriving daily.
Man, I was really hoping the Crown Vic would last, or even like the Taurus. I don't know the state of the Taurus. I was really at least hoping the Crown Vic would last long enough that I could get one. By the time I get my hands on one now, they're all going to have 300,000 miles on it from like them being it, or like police cars or police car sycophants who just like run them into the ground.
Yep.
But holy shit, I think my grandparents had a Lincoln Continental, which is the Lincoln version of the whatever, you know, because Ford owned Lincoln or whatever, vice versa. Awesome. Like almost like my Chevy Lumina. Anything that has like a bench seat in front, I miss. It's probably like a safety hazard. That's why you can't have them anymore.
Probably.
But bench seats in front felt so fun to me.
My grandma had a Crown Vic. Like right after my grandfather died, or before my grandfather died, they got that car for her.
They were awesome. Anything like Buick and Oldsmobile did that. Yeah, my Celebrity, when you put up the middle console thing, they had the drink. Like it was an uninterrupted sheet of fabric. You could lay down. Like it was. I would have to crunch because I'm 6 foot. Like it was probably 5'8", but like still uninterrupted, nice and roomy. Probably a death trap.
Probably.
This is where you can mountain bike, you can sail, you can climb, you can hike.
This is Colorado? Come
I
on.
just get like bruises
Utah?
and things. See my bruise?
Domestic violence.
I don't think we ever know because we've seen this one before.
Had any fun.
It's like just about shoes.
All right, so name the shoe or name the state. I think it's Utah.
I don't know the shoe. Maybe Reebok or a Nike. I don't know.
Balancing your play, your work, your social life. I'm
Something like
happy here,
LLB
but
or
we
something.
both need really cool men.
Colorado. We're not listening to the Indigo Girls anymore. Oh, it's Nike. God damn it.
Bam! I was right, and I feel like we talked about the Indigo Girls the last time we saw that too.
Not even Porsche could answer our challenge to match Firebird's standard driver.
The 90s Firebirds and Camaros, I fucking hated. They look gross. They look like these disgusting teardrops. Like they almost look like feathers. I don't even know how to describe it. Like they were pointing in the front. They sort of flared out. I mean, if you've seen them, you know you know. And you don't see many of them on the road. And I thank God. They probably weren't built to last because you don't see them anymore because they look like shit.
Driver and passenger airbags, standard anti-lock brakes, and 200.
I remember a guy I worked with, he was like, yeah, I've got a Pontiac Firebird. It was like a 2000 or 1998 or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's awesome. He's like, I got it for my son. My son didn't want it anymore. Tons of horsepower, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I just get the oil change every 3,000 miles or whatever. I said, well, what about it? Like, why are you trying to get rid of it? He's like, well, you can't really push on the gas because the U-joint will explode. I'm like, bitch, don't be like, yeah, buy this sports car from me, except don't touch the gas too hard because you'll blow your, drivetrain apart. Yeah, cool.
We saw Elliot and I saw the tiniest car ever that was like smaller than a smart car the other day on the road. And I don't know if it can get on the highway. Like it was so tiny. I think it was a Suzuki. I told you it was an R2 wagon, something Suzuki. It was so little. I
feel like that market is growing. There's tiny trucks and all these little Japanese cars that are made to, roll up and down 8-foot wide roads. They are adorable. And
it looked like a death trap though.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, can it achieve highway speeds? Technically, yes. But like when the posted limit is 65, if you can make 65, that's cool. But nobody's going to be doing 65.
Right.
Like the median is going to be 20 over that.
Yeah.
75 horsepower.
I call those pregnant roller skates. Yeah. I mean, it kind of was shaped like one.
But they are adorable. I wouldn't mind a Fiat 500 to tear ass around town and nice stick shift. I don't know if those are turbocharged or not. I wouldn't mind it, right?
And that's okay. But that will be then. This new Firebird is now.
Oh, P.S. Pontiac doesn't exist anymore.
September 24th. They have the drive.
They have the power.
They have the talent.
You gonna lead us to the promised land?
Ryan loves his Fiat 500X.
Have to work together.
Oh, wow. Fiat. Right. I'm thinking of. Wait, am I thinking of?
Yeah, the little Fiats.
I don't know why when you said specifically you said Fiat. I don't know why I thought of like the 1980s version of the Fiat, like that really aggressive one that looks like the MR2. I don't know why my mind went there. Probably the nostalgia commercials.
Kill everybody. I tore that.
That Abarth version looks pretty sick.
The program, rated R.
Okay, Jane, he'll be ready at 8.
Thanks, Mom.
Most moms don't have a lot of time in the morning, but all it takes is a moment to let them know you love them. All it takes is a moment to make them
I hope to God, if you didn't get to live through the era, the epoch of oatmeal that had like
apples and cinnamon in it?
No.
Oh.
Gummy bears and other gummy shit that was like wrapped in like oats that would reveal themselves once you stirred it.
No.
I never ate oatmeal. I hated grains for breakfast. I'm not a breakfast fan. But my brother, when we were young, would eat a fuck ton of oatmeal and constantly would have the oatmeal that like you would stir it and there would be gummy bears or there would be whatever, because there would just be whatever they were just wrapped in a crushed oatmeal thing that would just get wet.
You add water,
Yeah, and it was like
I remember
we
the
were just
dinosaur
desperate
eggs.
to get kind of like that. We were just desperate to get candy into every meal of our undercover bears. Fucking crazy. And here's the thing, like when my brother would go and pour the dry mix into his bowl and then go get the water to pour it in, I would eat all of the bears because they were very easily to identify because it was oats and then like big globs that were
Different
bears.
colors.
I would eat a lot of the bears and he wasn't looking.
See, you gotta put milk in it. That's what, like, so we used to get the apples and cinnamon one was like my jam, and that's
Right,
what
but
we
you
would
put
add.
the water in first to get it hydrated in the microwave, and then you put the milk in afterwards. Did the same thing with malto meal.
Hell to the no.
Well, you'd have to
just put milk in.
Because
That's
you
all I
want
did.
boiled milk or burnt milk.
90 seconds is gonna boil shit.
Whole oat, hot nutrition, a moment of your time that makes a difference all morning. Instant Quaker oatmeal instead of cold
Apple cinnamon,
cereal.
man, I fucking love that. I used to eat 2 packs of it and go to school.
But not a lot of
It's
time.
fucking trash.
Well, back in the 90s.
It still was, just because you didn't know.
Right.
Starting with The Simpsons, then Sinbad stars as a carefree bachelor. Did you check out my butt? Who adopts 2 orphans.
Look at his shirt
and his pants.
You're 35 and you can barely take care of yourself.
And discovers
He's 35.
Do I look as old as Sinbad?
No.
He's 35. I'm older than Sinbad at this moment.
No, he looks like he's 50.
I'm thirsty. I want a story.
I have got to get out this house.
on the premiere
Look
of
at
the
all those
Sinbad
fucking
show.
shirts. And it hasn't even premiered yet. We saw 9 shirts. Not one episode has aired.
Strikes Back, Seinfeld is in the hood, and Wanda's having a baby.
Oh my God. I loved In Living Color. Oh my God. It was on after The Simpsons on Thursday night. And I fucking loved In Living Color.
I don't remember ever watching it. I think my mom watched
I
it.
watched a ton of it. I was always so upset because I was watching the clock and it was only half an hour. And like when they were getting down to like, because they, everything had a pattern. And when they were getting down to like the second Fly Girl performance, I was like, no!
Gotta wait.
Loved In Living Color. Oh my
Then
God.
Herman goes undercover as a woman.
Herman's
and
head.
Viewing at a single spot.
I've never
on
seen
the
this.
Season premiere of Herman's
I
Head.
loved
It all
Herman's Head.
happens tomorrow on Fox.
It must have been on after my bedtime.
He had Lisa Simpson's voice in his head. Yardley Smith was one of the like 4 or 5 people that lived in his head.
This place fries, fluffs, butters.
This place is not the shopping network.
This place chops, seasons.
This place is profusely, unequivocally the quintessential fast food establishment.
This place boils.
Quintessential?
This place is a little out there.
From battering our chicken to making biscuits from scratch.
This place really...
You guys remember when Popeyes had those like chicken hands? There was like a chicken breast that was cut up into strips that looked like a hand.
Popeyes.
I love
This
that
place
shit. I
cooks.
think it was
It's
hilarious.
Come get
What was it,
Popeye's
Popeyes?
Baker's Dozen Box, just $8.99 for 13 pieces. Where's the 13th piece? Thank you.
Mountain man survival skills. The basics. A true mountain man must have a keen sense of direction, a certain physical dexterity, and a talent for surviving the most unforgiving climates.
Just look at the color palette. It feels oversaturated and desaturated at the same time. Like is it just me? Like, I love the 90s aesthetic. We're like, this is way too much. Then there's like nothing. Like the background here seems like nothing. And they are a little oversaturated. I don't know what the 90s did or how to replicate it, but like when you see it, you can feel it. I fucking love that shit.
Of course, nothing is more key to a mountain man's survival than plenty of smooth.
Did you read what Ryan said? Did you know In Living Color led to the modern Super Bowl halftime show? It never used to be a big deal, and then one year Fox did a 15-minute special, In Living Color, and it took away ratings from the game. The NFL saw that, and the next year created modern halftime show.
I wouldn't.
I mean, yeah,
say that that's wrong. Like In Living Color, oh my god! Like, I don't know. I was a fan of Saturday Night Live and Mad TV, but nothing ever reproduced what In Living Color did. Like, it was so fucking funny. Everything Jim Carrey did was hilarious. Even though I was too young to understand what gay or straight was, I still just understood comedy and comedic characters and delivery.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
And easy drinking bush life. So, head for the mountains. And learn how the mountain man survives even the most.
You guys are at the beach, by the way.
Yeah, that's not mountains.
A religious extremist
You want nothing less than to destroy us.
sets off a wave of terror.
I understand my duty to defend the Bajoran faith.
Fire Marshal Bill was a classic. Every Jim Carrey character I feel like I loved. I was less in love with his German woman fitness character, but like Fire Marshal Bill, and when he was the karate instructor with like the fireman mustache, I loved too.
A holy war that could divide the station.
Hey, it's O'Brien.
I've given you all the support I can.
Yeah, he moved
I forgot.
And bring the Federation.
I don't know why he left Enterprise. They probably told him some point.
Yeah.
Next time on Star Trek.
I thought Dax was hot though.
And maybe he
Saturday
got
at
promoted or something.
I was never a huge fan of DS9. I did like Rene Auberjonois as Obo or Obo. He went on to do some really, and he's RIPs long since, not long since, but I think he passed in like in the teens,
I don't know.
maybe in the early 20s. It's Gonzo. He does some really terrific readings of the Pendergast novels, the aforementioned Pendergast novels on Audible. Rene Auberjonois, great. Along with Scott Brick.
Maybe that's how I recognize his name, because I feel like, does he do the Cabinet of Curiosities one?
He does not. Scott Brick does that one.
Oh.
He does like the latter day stuff. Like I think he did the Obsidian Room, and
I feel like I've heard it, and you've mentioned that it was who it was.
Auberjonois, what a great name.
Jim Carrey does a great
On Fox
Popeye
30,
voice, by the way.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
It's time for Crystal Steam and Hits. Just listen.
What?
For everyone's favorite.
Why is he just ahead?
I don't know.
And who can forget?
I do. Here's the thing. If I did not, like, let's say I got in the mood where I was like, fine, I'll accept 14 hours of diarrhea. I would definitely take 4 or 5 of those 36 Crave cases to the head before passing out and then regretting it for the next week.
I'd rather you not.
This
do
record
that.
isn't available in stores. In fact, it isn't available at all. But
Benson reruns. Was he in Benson?
What's Benson?
I want to say that was like a... No, I'm confusing with something else.
All I am thinking of is Olivia Benson, and I know that's not it.
Was Benson? I want to say Benson was like a coroner who was also like a detective or something in solved crimes.
10 hot crystals for $3.89.
That might have come up on American Dad.
They had hot dogs too?
No. Oh yeah. Back in the day.
Why are you just ahead?
Oh, this is Crystal. It looks a lot like White Castle.
your Southern Ford dealer, Mike Davidson's Discount Ford Mart, is having a closeout blitz. Featuring huge savings on 93 demos and low mileage lease cars, as well as every new 93 Ford in stock.
The 90s
5.99%
ugly cars.
Rebates as high as $2,900.
But they're all, watch RoboCop. They're all over the place. In the future, we're still driving 93 Tauruses.
Discounts up to $6,000. We're crushing competition with low prices all this weekend. It's a closeout blitz. Every 93 must go, and we're out to make that happen. happen at Mike Davidson's Discount Ford Mart Atlantic across from Regency Square, where
profit is no object.
Get ready. Hold on to your seats. Can you feel the...
Profit is no object. It's a weird... I mean, the invert... I don't want to get into it.
They're coming from all over to take advantage of the biggest spa sale ever at
Benson was on 86 sitcom about Benson Dubois, who was the chief of staff for a governor. It was a spin-off of a 70s sitcom called Soap.
Oh, I'm thinking of Quincy. That's my mistake. Yeah, Quincy was the coroner who was like the solving crimes. Benson, yeah, my mistake.
Happening now.
I did enjoy Sledgehammer. That's neither here nor there.
Don't miss it. 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot portable spas. Your choice just...
He was watching the Beetlejuice movie before they were recording this commercial.
$9.99. That's right, just $9.99. You pick the style, seating, and even the color, and pay only $9.99.
Even
Relax
the color.
in your own spa tonight and let the world's pressure just float away.
I mean, it's 1993, which means they were probably building shit built in the 70s. So which means your color choice is like avocado, turquoise, or like burnt orange.
Yeah.
Waiting for it. If you snooze, you'll lose out on our biggest spa sale ever. Recreational
Just
Factory
dip a
Warehouse,
toe.
your backyard superstore.
It's coming.
I wonder who or God, like how much. I wonder. Here's the thing. I wonder if the spas are treated for higher acidity levels due to how many like swingers are fucking in them. Like I wonder if, because here's the thing. Like supply
Ryan.
meets demand. So I'm just wondering if like when they release hot tubs, they're like, this is great. And then like something happened. They kept breaking down or leaking or something. And they're like, oh, well, all the fucking that's going on, since it's the 70s, we have to sure up this, that, or the other. I would love to know what that quality
Or
is.
Gaining Sentience from American Dad.
Yeah.
That's a fucking amazing episode, too. Another favorite.
But in hindsight, it's tainted because it's got CeeLo in it.
Right, I know. But, like, I still like it.
The new improved taste of triple cereal. A taste that's so much
Triple
bigger,
cereal?
you can't help but notice. A taste that's better because those crisps are bigger, crispier, and tastier than ever before.
Right, but Chex did that shit, like, right? Because Chex was like, buy wheat, corn, or rice. They're all pennies on the dollar of any food that will actually sustain you with nutrition. Enjoy.
But we don't want you to take our word for it. So we're sending out millions of samples to prove it. Which means we had to squeeze a big new taste into a little box.
But we still
Try
bought a
new
big-ass
improved
truck.
today. Bigger, better taste.
But this is off
You
3
mean
in
if
one
I
box.
call my son in college the most, Sprint pays half?
Now there's a new reason to switch to the most.
Guys, remember Murphy Brown worked for Sprint?
What if I told you he goes to college in Japan?
No problem. Call
We don't give a
anyone,
fuck, it's
anywhere,
Sprint.
anytime, and Sprint will split the bill on the person you call most.
I don't suppose there's anything you could do about his tuition bill.
Sorry, we have to draw the line somewhere.
I'm Murphy Brown. I don't do this sort of shit. This guy, this is going to be a reference that's very specific, but after Mad TV was over, I was left with nothing to watch. And I was searching the whatever 10 channels I had. So it always, after Mad TV, which was on Channel 10, Fox, would go just one away to Channel 8, which was PBS, and watch Chef, which was a BBC broadcast with this. He must have been Haitian or Jamaican. I don't remember where he's from. He's a black guy in England. It was this chef who yelled at me. If you know Chef, shout out. Because later on, he takes on an alcoholic chef in his kitchen who plays like Jim Carrey's guide in Ace Ventura 2. That fat guy who leads him to the tribe. He plays an alcoholic chef that like the chef in Chef has to like help work through his problems with. It's insane.
Call now and save 50%.
Play the spaghetti drop because you said Japan. So
I made some spaghetti, but I dropped some sauce on the floor.
God.
It's so funny. Elliot walks around the house going, God, sometimes.
Everything on this soundboard my kid replicates at random. This one too.
Cool.
He loves it.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the 90s and Dr. Pepper. Even when it wasn't like a big dude, a sweaty dude looking to get a drink, even when like it was people dancing, it was in like scaffolding.
Yep.
It was very industrial for Dr. Pepper. It was like construction workers and scaffolding. Whether you were working or dancing, you were on a construction site.
Mm-hmm. It's the only place they could sell it.
I will give fucking 50 points to the person who can tell me why that magnet would not affect those Dr. Pepper cans. I feel like the Dr. Pepper guy, I knew him and his friend there. I feel like I saw them a lot.
Probably.
Ultra sweet.
If you were to pick anyone from our design center or
Aluminum isn't magnetic?
Yeah, it's a non-ferrous metal, motherfucker. Ferrous metals are iron-based. Nickel doesn't work. Aluminum doesn't work. Cobalt doesn't work. You have to be a ferrous metal, typically iron, even stainless steel.
What about Ferris Bueller?
No.
Rice! California. As a matter of pride. Or the Camry line in Kentucky. Dedication. Is the first person you see at our Michigan or Indiana facilities.
It's a matter of commitment.
9 times.
And show them the latest quote praising a Toyota product. They'd simply say,
That's great.
Making it better.
Fuck it.
That's what it's all about.
people think Toyota's reputation was built on the strength of its
Are
product.
Ferris wheels made of ferrous metals? I hope so.
You'd have to. Ferris wheels predate high strength alloys. So 1,000% your first Ferris wheels would be iron, not even steel or anything like that. So yeah, Ferris wheels, ferrous metal, Ferris
Maybe
Bueller.
that's why they're called Ferris.
I think it's named after the dude who invented it.
Oh.
And here's the thing, not for nothing, but do yourself the favor, if you like history, look up the Ferris wheel. Like, its history is intriguing, and it also sort of ties into the Chicago World's Fair that also coincides with the murder castle of H.H. Holmes, a.k.a. Herman Mudgett, or whatever his name is.
When in fact it was built on the strength,
Ferris
pride, and
wheels.
commitment of a lot of people.
It means putting your name on the line.
I put 300,000 miles on a Camry, no problem. I'm about to put 200,000 miles on a Corolla.
Really? Already?
Maybe 100,000. Maybe 100,000. How long has it been? 3 years? Probably only 100,000.
Yeah.
Probably only 2 years, actually. Maybe 3.
It cannot advance. It cannot organize. It
I don't get the moose.
snack. Therefore, they get no nachos. Presenting a new order of nachos from Taco Bell. Cheesy.
Doesn't this feel antithetical to Taco Bell? Like, shouldn't there be a guy playing a guitar in a desert by a river?
Yes. Speaking of Ferris Bueller, for some god-awful reason, they're making a sequel. But it's about the adventures of the parking garage guys who stole the car.
Who
greenlit this?
cares?
New beefy. And the most evolved nacho?
People are just
Nachos
running out of
with
reasons to
sour cream.
make movies.
Taco Bell nachos. It's cool to
I'm
be
hungry.
Let's get some Nacho
Herbie
Supreme.
Brown, weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 30.
Yeah. Great show, guys, regardless of what you think.
Time Emmy Awards. It's a night to remember when the brightest stars
It's
bring
the worst
daytime's
movie
biggest
idea
event to prime
I've
time.
heard in ages.
Which one?
The parking garage guys.
Oh, yeah. That does look and sound like shit. Because who gives a fuck? Like, who do you think was watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? And, like, while he's on that float, traveling through Chicago, singing Donkashane, who do you think, like, percentage-wise of the audience was like, whoa, what do you think those dudes are doing in Cameron's dad's car?
exclusive
Donahue.
The 21st Annual Daytime Emmy Awards, Wednesday night.
I miss Ricky Lake. I miss Sally Jesse. I miss Donahue. I miss Daytime.
Here on ABC.
One moment, please.
1 week from tonight. When it comes to women.
We just watched, I showed Krista, it was on Pluto TV.
The last 42
I saw the whole,
minutes.
Yeah, the last 45 minutes of The Birdcage. I fucking love them.
I want to watch the whole thing because I love Robin Williams in majority of the thing.
It's so
of the things that I
good. Like,
see.
Ally McBeal is in it. What's her name? Calista Flockhart? Oh, it's so good.
And Robin
Cadillac
Williams is a
Man.
wheeler dealer.
I'll be right with you.
Loaded
This.
down
Yep.
with options.
Has she run well for you?
I still, we bought, what's the movie called with him? Not 48 Hour Photo.
Popeye? No, 1 hour photo.
1 hour photo.
48 hour photo.
I don't know why.
The first 48 combined with 1 hour photo.
We still haven't watched it yet, and I love,
Right. But that's the thing. I've seen it, and that's the thing. It's not a comedy, and it's definitely going to change the way you look at Robin Williams.
I mean, I
remember watching it in the theater because I was like, oh boy, Robin Williams. And like, because I remember seeing Robin Williams in Insomnia.
I knew it wasn't a comedy. Right. I know it's not a comedy.
But the thing is, like, I don't know, in Insomnia where he plays a murderer and Al Pacino's chasing him around Alaska, the whole thing, I don't know, it feels more akin to like when he was on SVU. It's intriguing and he feels smart, but like in 1 hour photo, he feels not fun and not safe and not. It left me like, ugh. Now that I've seen 1 hour photo, I mean, having the hindsight, I go, I wish I hadn't seen it.
Oh well, like I don't know what it is about him that I like so much. I mean, he was good in Popeye.
Well, he's a great actor.
He's a great actor. His stand-up comedy was so dirty, like filthy dirty, like Bob Saget's comedy. So that kind of turned me off a little bit, but I was like, well, it's just everybody's dirty in stand-up comedy. But have you ever seen him in What Dreams May Come? It's a very dark, sad, but beautiful movie. No, I haven't seen any of his serious roles, and that's kind of what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. I don't. Take it back. Even though I said I wish I hadn't seen it, I don't regret seeing it because it's definitely worth seeing. But I don't. The reason why we probably haven't watched it yet is because it's one of those movies it's like to me a Coen Brothers movie,
like a one and done.
Yeah, I watch it once. Like No Country for Old Men, that was a one and done for me. Inglourious Bastards, one and done. Some of those movies you go, whoa, what a powerful, moving, beautifully shot, poignant, blah blah blah. And I go, I never have to see that shit again.
Right. No, I get that. Yeah. I just haven't seen it, so that's why we haven't watched it because I don't have.
I can't get up to because there's a scene in particular, and I don't want to spoil it for you, where I go, God damn, that shit was fucking crazy.
And I think Robin Williams was good as Popeye, Ryan.
Let's not talk about Robin Williams anymore. We're watching commercials.
During business hours, crime that's happening more and more. We look at how to avoid it. We investigate an agency that claims to find missing kids. What's missing, though, is the money. And a memorial.
Doesn't it feel like that Simpsons episode where Rex, or that guy, got the same voice as Rex Banner, but he specializes in brain unwashing and accidentally abducts Hans Moleman and gets him to believe that he's the son of Homer and Marge.
Service for the most admired woman in the world.
Watch the 17 First Coast News team tonight at 11 and get it all in 30 minutes.
What a nice lawn party. Good thing Hardee's has that big chicken deal going.
Too bad we don't live west of the Mississippi. We can see a Carl's Jr. for some fucking quality.
It's like kissing a peanut.
It's like kissing a peanut. Can we keep him? Dad.
We'll need more lawn. Get 8
Your new brother, Hans Moleman.
And have a good meal. Right now, get this huge 32-ounce thermal sport Hardee's mug for just $1.79.
Look at that teal and the magenta. Holy shit.
Hello?
We'll be right back. Pluto TV would at least put some colors flying at your face when this sort of shit happens. Come on, Jacksonville, get your shit together.
Jeez.
Channel 17? It's not even like a prime number.
Now a green screen.
Oh, great.
Here's your
body snatchers.
PBS Access channel.
WJKS. Come on.
17 WJKS.
Like, why put that in this episode?
Florida.
In this.
Oh, I wonder if this is like in the middle of the night.
He just recorded this?
Yeah, because like that's the thing. Like in the middle of the night, they would run out of shit because they put all the prime shit. Like when live TV was still programmed by humans, during the day it would be jam packed with shit that you would see nonstop. But like at night, you would see quality start to slip like this, where you go, well, fuck, whatever. It's 11:37. We've got no commercials. Just run the station logo for.
This is called the oh shit screen.
Right, like on The Simpsons, it would be like the cameraman with the technical difficulties holding the bottle of booze, and he's got the. Oh my god.
Crying. It's emotional. I like a big family. Big families fill the house with
American perfection.
Authentic Italian.
What?
The best American
This
technology.
is what, families fill your house with.
Hey, when your wife is blasting the babies out of baloney hole, you can make her a nice spaghetti. There's no cholesterol. And P.S. Why would there be? It's made of wheat and water. I love when products make claims that's like no shit, but no one's gonna ask. Like when the Just Born company puts like a fat-free candy on Mike and Ike's or hot tamales or whatever, and you go, whoa. Well, obviously, like it's just sugar nuts. Like, where would the fat come from? But you can proudly proclaim, like, the thing that some people might think is bad isn't in this.
We're fat-free. Oh, honey, look,
Like,
Mike and Ike's are fat-free.
If we start making meat and I put on every bottle, like, a turd-free bottle, you think that would be, like, enticing to people?
Yeah.
No turds.
It's a huge seller.
All wrapped up in one.
I was drinking the other people's mead, but there were turds in the bottle.
Yeah, they didn't say it was
guarantee
turd-free.
came from these people.
New Dino and David pasta turned sensitive
Not gay.
Dino into a feast for the senses.
Business partners only.
I have a cousin whose name is Dino.
Made with passion,
Or he's like a second
my
or
name's
third
David.
cousin. Yeah.
Why haven't you called your parents lately?
I lost the phone once under some clothes.
I got hit in the head in football practice. Locust.
I've been studying.
There's no MSG in this water.
These talking head commercials from the 90s are so iconic. I don't know what, there's nothing even about them that says like the 90s. Maybe it's just the fashion. But like why, but like when else in history would you ask someone like, why haven't you called your mom? Because when everybody owns a cell phone, there's no reason not to. But to be like, well, when only landlines exist, I'm a popular motherfucker. Like, eat my ass, parents. Like, whatever. I get that. But like, couldn't exist now. You probably
one of them.
No, he had to go back to work.
Introducing a new way to call collect.
He's on the other side of the world. It's daytime there.
1-800-OPERATOR. There's no lower price for a collect call.
Is my mother gonna see this though?
I'm glad they changed it later to call ATT. 1-800 call ATT. MCI had theirs. Everybody had theirs. Anyway, let's call it there. Why not? I feel like that's enough commercials. What's up with the trivia?
Well,
2-1. That's all we did.
You gave Ryan 50 points for knowing the aluminum thing, so Ryan won.
There you go.
We
Bingo.
did one trivia question where Matt won, and then Ryan got 50 points. So
Right, and that's the thing. Matt thought he won.
And he left thinking he won.
And here's the thing. I probably, if you had, Ryan, in all honesty and full transparency, if you would have said that aluminum was a non-ferrous metal, I probably would have given you 1,000 points for saying non-ferrous. But I'm a Bill Nye fan. Bill Nye, the science guy. So, Ryan, your name is going to stay up there for another week at least. If you're watching this now, tune in a couple of days for the finish of the Jim Roush interrogation footage. If this is the future, do whatever you want. I can't control your life. I can't even control your life if you're watching it now in the present. That is it.
Landon Breeden. Bill.
Yeah, Bill Nye, the science guy. He's the one who taught me about ferrous and non-ferrous metals. He taught me a lot. And I was like, go easy on the bananas, Bill, because every time he brought up something that it involved like cold or ice cream or whatever, he loved banana milkshakes. I was like, Hey, welcome, Len. I'm glad the YouTube algorithm brought you here.
Hey,
I'm just sad that you... hopefully you watched more than just now, because the show's over.
Yeah, sorry.
But I appreciate everybody who did show up. Thank you so much. We will be back in a couple of days to fit up the Jim Roush interrogation. And then, yes, thank you, Landon. And then next week into Wednesday, we'll be back for more...
Yep, we're usually live Wednesdays and Fridays.
Wednesdays and Fridays, we'll be back for more... Yeah. You think Beekman's World is better than Bill Nye? Yo... I don't know, man. We can talk about it later, but because this is one of those things. So I get it. I'm not gonna say like you're totally wrong, Ryan. Right? Like I'm not gonna be like, well, you're a fucking idiot, because Beekman and Nye are the Coke and Pepsi of the child science, right?
Hot take.
This is a hot take. because Beekman's World was like the punk rock version that was like, because Bill Nye was PBS and or like there was money and like stuff behind. I think Disney owns it now. But Beekman felt like a very punk rock version of like, you know what? You don't need to be polished to teach kids about science. So they had... Bill Nye had a gaggle of kids helping out and making experiments with fulcrums and levers and carbohydrates and stuff like that. Cell walls. But Beekman had a rat and like a valley girl.
Oh. Well.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy Beekman's World. I just think it is not going to be as clear as apples and oranges between Beekman's World and Bill Nye. They both had very similar shticks. I mean, there was some divergence in their, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like Mad TV and SNL, because that was like not really a comparison.
Yeah.
I think Beekman's is closer to Bill Nye than Mad TV was to SNL, but it doesn't matter. We can talk about that later. Come back in a couple of days to help us finish up the Jim Roush interrogation with Catherine Reed and Mike Nishke. Mike Nishke.
Tom or
Tom,
Mike?
Tom. I don't know why I'm calling him Mike. Tom Nishke.
Whatever.
But yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Adios. Whoa, that's the wrong button. Woo!
For this, try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.